The thing called justice changes its shape depending on where you stand. Have you ever heard that in the world there are things that it's best not to ask? Akainu said when friends fight things tend to get heated. I said it was because you're magma. This is Kuzan, otherwise known as ex-Admiral Aokiji. By now, I'm pretty sure we are all aware of the clip. And if you haven't seen it, then ooh.
Pure, unadulterated, badass.
While Aokiji did look cool both literally and figuratively, what does this really mean for his power, and how strong could he possibly be? Ever since this clip came out, Aokiji agenda pushers came out of sewers, forests, the closet, basically everywhere to start wanking Kuzan to high heaven. I've heard things like Aokiji can beat Kaido, but you're not ready for that discussion. And while I'm not quite sure about that, my opinion could always change, and I will go over that very topic later in this video. Without further ado, let's see how strong Aokiji really is. I'm going to break this video down into 3 sections, just like in my Kizaru video. Aokiji is a former admiral, renowned as the strongest military asset the Navy has access to. He was personally trained by Vice Admiral Garp and was put into his intense exercise of punching literal battleships without any haki or fruit. This in turn made him extremely physically powerful, which means he's not a devil fruit merchant. Aokiji also has access to the advanced forms of haki, such as advanced armament and future sight, as well as the slight possibility of knowing how to utilize Rokushiki if that would even help. The pinnacle of Aokiji abilities is his Hie no Mi, a Logia type devil fruit allowing the user to become, manipulate, and generate ice. This allows him to form around attacks by using future sight, create ice weapons, and freeze. Aokiji has many other ice abilities like Time Capsule, his signature Ice Pheasant, and Ice Age, but just know that they are all extremely powerful. Aokiji is also able to evenly clash with Old Garp, who's basically more of a haki man than a certain swordsman I know. Aokiji loses to Akainu. Now that we have the obvious out of the way, let's talk about who he'd win against. I'll talk about the elemental trio, Kaido, and then Luffy. Now I know a certain group of people have been saying that Aokiji beats Kaido, but like, come on. I really just can't see it. Not narratively, not feat-wise. I just cannot. Kaido is an endurance and durability beast, and seems to have an innate resistance to most elements. Not only that, Kaido can also put on fucking fire armor, which may or may not do anything to Aokiji's ice. In general, I believe most admirals just have a losing matchup against Kaido, mostly because of Kaido's elemental resistances. Unless someone can convince me in the comments, I just can't see Aokiji beating Kaido. Now, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei, the elemental trio versus Kuzan. So, Zoro has AP capable of doing this to Kaido.
足がばっけい猛者の戯れ
And Sanji has Germa genes, giving him some level of regeneration, more durability, and becoming immensely faster. Jinbei is, well, he's Jinbei. At first, you might see this and assume Kuzan is going to get his shit absolutely jumped. Like, oh, Zoro can cut Kaido, he'll one-shot Kuzan. But in order for him to do that, he has to actually hit Kuzan. And Kuzan won't just stand still and take it just like Kaido. Zoro is currently struggling with Lucci, who believes that Kizaru is much stronger than he is. Aokiji is at least relative, if not a little bit stronger than Kizaru, and Sanji is just blatantly weaker, but much faster. So I guess what you're wondering is how does Aokiji fight all three of these people at once? Basically like this. Aokiji's ice is really fucking fast. He also blitzed every single member of the Blackbeard pirates, and was about to kill Blackbeard as well. Yeah, you can say that was a weaker Blackbeard, but also in newer arcs, Blackbeard's crew was also completely useless against Garp. Aokiji literally tells them that they'd be complete fodder even if Garp was completely bound. Aokiji took front and center. The way I see it, Aokiji freezes the ground, Jinbei's gone, Zoro was gone. Sanji's able to avoid it because of his speed, then eventually he gets frozen as well. Maybe some of them get out, but you already know they're getting icy afterwards. It's either that or they're somehow able to stop Aokiji from freezing them instantly and jump the absolute shit out of him.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back!
Hear me out. Aokiji wins. I can already hear the boos, alright, but let me just explain. Luffy's Gear 5 has an obvious time limit. One that, given no interference, would have led to him dying against Kizaru. Kizaru got up first, by the way. I see no reason why Aokiji can't just dodge, clash, and rapidly freeze and zone Luffy. Aokiji's fruit is literally perfect for zoning, and capable of temporarily freezing top tiers. This would be quite literally the hardest counter to Luffy, and without a shadow of a doubt can lead to Luffy taking a massive L. Aokiji can just spam his fruit, sometimes freeze Luffy, and go in for some powerful Garp-trained fists. In conclusion, Aokiji is him. His fight with Sakazuki put him at basically the same level as him, if not a little weaker, but if we're being honest, Sakazuki has probably greatly surpassed Aokiji because of the Fleet Admiral tax. In terms of relative tier list scaling, I'd say Aokiji is either less than or equal to a Yonko. Specifically, Big Mom and Luffy. And before anybody brings up slander regarding Marineford, Aokiji listened to Shanks for like 3 seconds and then immediately disobeyed him. So, suck it. I'd say Aokiji is definitely top 10, maybe top 15. But anyway, please keep chasing that agenda piece, and like and subscribe. Bye bye.